Championship made at 11 stone. 12 rounds of 3 minutes each round. Fighting out of the red corner, the present British light middleweight champion, ranked 7th in Europe with 15 wins, 8 losses and 2 drawn, from Lymington, wearing black shorts. Please welcome Gary Cooper! Fighting out of the blue corner in white shorts with black stripes, from St Helens in Lancashire, the Central Area light middleweight champion with 17 wins and 1 loss, ranked 8th in Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gary Stretch! At the weigh-in at 1 p.m. today, Cooper scaled 10 stone, 12 and a quarter pounds. Stretch scaled 10 stone, 13 and 3/4 pounds. Your timekeeper for this event, Ray Rice. Your referee, Mr. Adrian Morgan.
So finally this championship fight is on. It seems to have been months. It was postponed and called off on the day of the fight, and all kinds of things have happened, but Frank Warren has managed to put it on now at the Rivermead Centre in Reading, which is close for the Cooper supporters, the traveller from Lymington or the New Forest, and the old hand at 31 at this game, defending his championship. And he beat Michael Harris at Wembley last February over 12 rounds. And Gary Stretch, self-nicknamed the Gifted One, and brought a real personality supporters club here tonight. Good puncher in the, well, it looks like he's playing for Juventus, I think, the southpaw. And as far as the Southerners were concerned, the lad from St Helens was a big hit when he stopped the great run in the amateurs of George Collins. Referee from Wales, Adrian Morgan. No judges in the British Championship. So he's the sole arbiter. Should it go 12? He's known for his punching power, Stretch, but Cooper's a good, durable campaigner, always in good shape. And does the old-fashioned tree chopping that the old-timers used to do. Or at least they pose for pictures doing it anyway. That punch well. He moved his way into that long right-hand lead. Never short on confidence, Gary Stretch, is he?
Well, this has been a good start for him again tonight. Some nice sharp punches, bang on target. Cooper, I think, is quite used to having bad starts in fights, so it doesn't discourage him any. He keeps his chin down all the time and his hands up, so he's going to be catching a lot of punches tonight. But he doesn't want to let too many of these punches through. Stretch has started with some really powerful punches.
It's 11 stone division. He once had a world champion at this weight in Morris Hope. Being a bit smart there, Gary Stretch. He's not doing his occupation of the male model and standing still. And there's a 10-year pro then in his rundown. And he's only 22, Gary Stretch, so he's got the experience of age, and I don't know whether there's any lead in his legs, but I doubt that. And way back in '73, won the Boys Clubs Championship and an England representative. And there's the details for Stretch then. Although he's from St Helens, he's actually working as a model quite a bit in London, and he's certainly got a fan club of well-known faces turned out to see him. And that one loss, in fact, was to Julian Montville, was cut in the second round. And whatever happened to Julian Montville? Johnny Clark, former good bantamweight champion, he was from London. Training there. And into the second round. And referee Morgan making sure they don't come out too early for work. They don't get paid between rounds. Good punch-picking start, I thought, there by Stretch, Jim.
Yeah, it was a good first round for Stretch, considering he's a challenger. Is the challenger shaken by that one slightly? No, he's laughing. Maybe his feet just slipped a little bit, but it looked a good enough punch, and maybe just to remind him these championship fights can be hard.
I never take liberties with an old pro champion. And that's given the Cooper fan club something to shout about. And they're here in big numbers as well. It's a good crowd at the Rivermead Centre.
I think Stretch was a little bit dangerous with his head there, as after he'd thrown the punches, he moved in behind his forehead slightly.
We've seen Gary Cooper, Jim, in previous fights. His marathon slogs that he has, he seems to revel in them, doesn't he, with Jimmy Cable?
Well, he's used to that kind of fight, and he's more suited to that kind of fight than Stretch is. And that was a good right-hand punch, and since the punch landed, Stretch's nose has been pouring blood, so it really was a solid smack. Oh, good punch from Stretch.
And so was that, and he did well to get up from that. There's no standing 8 count or mandatory in British rules. Now, as he swapped it around already, and he looks as though he could do it in the second. Well, a minute to go in the second now.
Cooper's eyes looked pretty clear, but he was obviously shaken from that punch. He got up quickly, recovered quickly, but Stretch has seen his chance and he's looking to repeat it.
I think the pride as well as the chin was hurt there too, Jim, for Cooper. I don't think he could believe it. He was on top for a second or two there, and then he suddenly got caught. But he is, as I said at the start, he's a very dangerous puncher, Stretch, and that goes right back from the amateur days. Always club champion. Try and force Cooper to drop the guard, but that's unlikely with an old campaigner. Some of those punches to Stretch land on Cooper's gloves as well as his chin, but those that are getting through look painful enough. And just as well he pulled that one back. Well, you could call it a bit of a lived-in face, isn't it, Gary Cooper? He's a real old campaigner in this game and always gives his heart into it as well, which is respected by other tradesmen. Here's the knockdown, Jim.
Yeah, that's a good little punch, good little right hand, bang on target. Cooper recovered very quickly, but nevertheless, it was a good little right hook.
The 5th round then of the Schedule 12 for the British Light Middleweight Championship, with the dark-trunked Gary Cooper defending his championship against Gary Stretch from St Helens, and now domiciled and working spare time in London as the model. And the self-proclaimed gifted one is going to have to work now in his challenge for this championship, because he's a good, durable fighter, but he'll need to be Cooper because he's soaked up a few good punches there. And that would look like a left hand. He caught him square on with that. Now, he can't complain that he doesn't hear this, and it's early in the round, so Stretch has got a good chance surely now of stopping Cooper with 2 minutes to go. So he's got to be sure he doesn't go in too recklessly and catch your head and get cut. You can bet Cooper will try and con his way out of this. 193 pro rounds before he came into this fight. But as they say, it's very much a young man's game, this. Blackened around the left eye of the champion, Jim, isn't he?
Yeah, that was the best fight, the best punch of the fight so far from Stretch. A cracking punch, and the damage was done a few seconds actually before Cooper went over. But that punch was a beauty, and Stretch is keeping nice and cool and calm. Still a little bit dangerous with his head inside. He pushes his forehead after he throws the punches, but he's kept himself nice and cool, nice and calm, and he's looking for a second chance at Cooper now.
Yes, referee Morgan just mentioned it to him as he moved in with them. He's really shipping some punishment now, Cooper, slowly and inexorably. Night's work being punched out now by Stretch. And he's really made a big point of that, and I don't understand why Stretch is doing that, Jim. He's well on top. Why is he bothering to sort of annoy the referee and make himself unpopular when he's winning?
He's been very dangerous with his head all the way through. Every time they go into a clinch, he pushes his forehead up, and it'd be awful silly to risk a disqualification now.
Now, Jim, you can see that knockdown now.
Now, beautiful punch from Stretch. Cooper caught Cooper bang on target. He managed to keep his feet and then ended up with a beautiful punch. And that second one threw
short,
right over.
Sharp, merciless too, wasn't it? And there's Lionel Blair, and then just along there, the dark-haired lady, that's Lionel's daughter Lucy, who's currently Stretch's girlfriend.
Round 8.
Round 8. And a couple of times I've no doubt that Stretch and certainly his supporters thought that he was going to stop Cooper, but well, as I said early on, that Jim Watt and I have seen Cooper in some long distance tussles, and he always hangs in there. There's a strong man in the Welshman Michael Harris that he defeated for the championship. He was an England rep too, Cooper, and right back in 1973 he was the National Association Boys Club champion as well. So his early pedigree is a good one. Not putting the punches in any clusters at all, Stretches. They're nearly all 1-2 shots all the time.
Yeah, well, he must know at this stage as well in front. But still, when he sees the chance, he's let go with that solid right hook there. He still has the powerful punches ready. He's just dropped the pace slightly, as I said. His work is still good, his punches are still good. It's just that he's settling down a little bit, a bit more thought into it. Which you can't really criticise, he's still in control. Well, I don't know if that right hand from Cooper seems to have shaken Stretch a little bit. Just what I'm saying is that he was under control. His eyes are clear, but that was a useful little right hand from Cooper. There goes the head again.
Well, at least it's succeeded in spurring him back into action. I agree with you, Jim. He definitely looked a bit confused there. as the pace and the plot thickens, as they say. It's getting a bit rougher now. They're both bloodied around the face a bit. And Stretch his nose bleeding fairly heavily. But he's still picking the occasional harder shots than the champion. Oh, he really led there and turned it into an uppercut with his southpaw right-hand lead. And really, it's almost unstoppable. A little risky, you leave yourself open to do it, no doubt, but that got through okay. Jim, this is Cooper's bit of success in replay, and that's the point where he stunned Stretch.
Yeah, well, Stretch usually blazes back, but after taking that right hand, he's looking for the safety of a close-up clinch, and he's just looking to stop Cooper from working. There, the legs gave a little bit of the twist there, so he was in a slight bit of trouble there.
And then right after that, despite the fairly heavy nosebleed, really, and the second's working on it now, that was the punch. He turned that in beautifully there.
Singles up. Round 9.
Round 9. And now it's become a hard slog for a scheduled 12-rounder for this championship.
Well, Cooper was throwing his arms in the air at the end of the previous round, so maybe the fight has reached the stage he's been looking forward to, and maybe he intends now going to work. We'll see who has the most steam left. Is it Cooper or will it be Stretch?
Doesn't mind grabbing there for a bit of safety either, Jim.
Well, this is probably the worst time for things to change when you've been in charge of a fight. Still 4 rounds to go, so a long time in front of you, and to see a tough champion come back at you like this. I don't know how long Cooper can keep this going, but he fancies it at the end of the previous round, and he certainly raised the pace. So I wonder what's going through Gary Stretch's mind now. What does he do? Does he hang on to his lead, take things easy, or does he stand his ground and blaze back? But it's really turned into a cracking fight now.
Well, it took them a long time when the board ordered this match to get them together, various postponements. But it's been worth it. It was always bound to be a hard slog. There was a time when Stretch looked as though he was going to be in total command, but he's lost a bit of that.
See, Cooper's legs still seem to have plenty of strength about them, which is the main thing at this stage in the fight. He's still up on his toes, dancing back from Stretch. So he still looks to have quite a bit left.
Yeah, he's a bit of a red rum of the ring, isn't he, Cooper? It was thrown down there. The referee won't have that. Quite rightly, shouts out push, wipes the gloves, although there's no rosin on the ring at all these days, very rarely. And there's Cooper back in trouble again in the 9th. We've seen it before and he's come back. Can he do it again? A bit reckless there, they're bumping and boring there, Jim. Now no wonder the faces are swelling up. Round 11 of this real slog for the British light middleweight championship. Now it's become.
You think to add to Stretch's problems, he's shaken by another right hand here. But I saw Stretch shaking his right hand as he went back to the corner. I think he's really banged his hand up. He's had trouble with knuckles in the past. But he really showed the pace in the previous round. He was shaking a couple of times. As you see now, he's pushing himself onto Cooper because he just wants to get the next couple of rounds over with.
He's as gutsy as they come to, Stretch, Jim, isn't he? As we saw against the Welshman Dennis Cronin. What a war that was at the Royal Albert Hall.
Oh yeah, he's shown plenty of courage tonight, particularly in the last couple of rounds. But when the pace has slowed and Cooper has raised the pace and come back at him, Stretch has stayed there, always pleased to stand his ground and fire back again. But I certainly have him well in front, so he'd be well advised not to take too many chances. Cooper's not really a big puncher, but you don't want to, at this stage in a fight, you can't give anybody 3 hits.
Starting to fight on grit alone now, Stretch, because as Jim Watt was saying, he showed a bit of tiredness coming out there, but he can still put a few punches together. But the whole time the champion just keeps coming on, a bit like an old freight train, keep going forward.
You have to give Stretch full credit here because things seem to be slipping away from him, but he's come firing back and he's having a good round now. That was a lovely right uppercut. Even Cooper himself acknowledged it. But he's shown plenty of character, plenty of courage.
Looked as though he was sagging a bit too there, Cooper. With just under a minute to go in the 11th. But we've said that a couple of times before in the fight, and he's pulled himself together again, the champion. Well, it's going to go into the last round, and I tell you, that's going to be a slog too. The referee happened to have it close. Bit of throwing there, a bit of needle at the end of the round. Frustration showing, bit of booing as well for Stretch throwing his man there.
Come on, guys. So result, 12th and last round.
Well, the old Warriors acknowledging each other there. I tell you that they both realise that they've given all and taken it into the last round of this championship. You've got Stretch in front still, Jim, but has it closed at all in the last few rounds?
No, Cooper's work has been better in the last 3 rounds, but hasn't done enough to turn the fight around. Stretch has always really been the busier of the two. The better boxer, better punches all the way through. I have him pretty comfortably ahead in points.
Well, if he had 1 or 2 stamina rocky spells in the 10th and 11th, Jim, I think Stretch has taken a deep breath to come out and give us a last round showing, and well, he stayed well.
I like the way Stretch came back in the 11th round. It was a good time to have another good round because Cooper's confidence was growing. He was getting himself back into the fight, but Stretch met him bang in the centre of the ring and started firing back, and he's doing that now.
Fell into that one, Cooper. He was leaning in, and Stretch counter-punched. Clear round it looks again for Stretch now, which really makes sure he gets home. Not that we've ever been much doubt, certainly Jim hasn't. But if the referee wanted something clear-cut, he's getting it. should have his points okay by the end of the 11th. They don't have to top up the whole bout. They do them as they go along, a plus and minus. So he should be able to get the decision the moment the final bell goes with just under a minute. Good, determined finish too by the young challenger.
Well, Stretch isn't allowing Cooper to have a final desperate effort of turning the thing round by a knockout victory. He's finishing as he started by dictating the action and forcing Cooper back.
So there it is, the countdown now, which looks like the hailing of a new champion at the 11 stone division in Britain. And both boxers there watch their heads in the last dying second. There it is, referee walks away and he's pointing to Stretch, and there it is. And Ernie Fossey gives the old pro, being an ex-pro himself, he knows exactly what Cooper's been through. Here's the Stretch entourage there. And the girlfriend, and Lionel Blair there, the girlfriend bursting into tears, as you would expect. A bit of jeering, but unfairly by presumably the Cooper supporters. As the Member of Parliament, Julian Critchley, awaits to give Gary Stretch the Lonsdale belt. And a good friendly finish there after it was a little spiteful early on. And there's the tears running down Lucy's face. First championship fight for her, I'm sure. And probably she's hoping to last the strain she must have been through there.
And I would like to say,
and there goes the belt with Mr. Julian Critchley, the MP steward in charge for this show, for the Boxing Board of Control, and the great Lonsdale belt.
And I want a big tribute to Gary Cooper.
Well, Stretch's hand is raised. The Master of Ceremonies, Peter Dennis, is asking for a big cheer for a brave loser, and he deserves it. And here's Gary Newbon then talking to the new champion.
Gary, congratulations. You waited a long while for this fight, but I'm sure, first of all, before we talk about your performance, you'd like to congratulate a great old champion there.
I do. He gave me the best fight of his life, best fight of my life, and very proud to set this off him. He was a good champion.
Well, you built up an early lead, but it looked as if there might be a question mark about your pace, the way that he was pushing you at the end.
No, I damaged my left hand about the 4th round, and I think maybe it's broken, I'm not sure.
And you nearly broke the heart of your girlfriend, Lucy Blair. She was in tears at the end, but she was looking very anxious with her father, Lion. All right.
Yeah, well, she's all right, I think.
Congratulations, new champion. Feels good?
Feels great.
Well done, thank you.